The girl presses a red button. The entire floor suddenly lights up red, and the temperature shoots up to 400 degrees. Both of them start screaming from the heat. Even their sweat evaporates the moment it hits the ground. No matter how much they beg, the shop owner doesn't react, because this is a death game. If they want to survive, someone has to win. Just as they're about to reach their limit, the girl spots a green button on the floor. The man immediately slams his hand onto it. Countless vents open up at once, blasting cold air into the room. The unbearable heat finally starts to fade, but before they can catch their breath, powerful winds tear through the room. The force is so strong they can barely breathe. The girl fights her way forward and finally steps on a blue button. The wind stops instantly. Then a freezing wave of cold crashes over them. Ice rapidly spreads across their bodies, locking both of them in place. The man tries to reach another button, but his feet are frozen solid. He can't move. If this keeps up, they're both done. Grinding his teeth, he puts every ounce of strength into breaking free. With a roar, the ice covering his body explodes apart, but the second he gets loose, he accidentally steps on a yellow button. The floor beneath them suddenly gives way. Now they're balancing on a few narrow stone pillars above a massive pit. Far below, the bottom is packed with sharp spikes. That's when the shop owner announces the final rule. The last stage has begun. The game ends when one person falls. Both of them fall silent. The man stares at the spikes below, and a thought flashes through his head. If he kicks the girl off, he survives. But before he can do anything, the girl gives up on her own. The man is a famous celebrity. She's just an ordinary fan. Getting this far with her idol is enough for her. She says she has no regrets. Then she jumps. But the instant she falls, the man grabs her, because in that moment, he remembers a part of his past he never escaped. Years ago, he chose his fame and career over a girl who truly loved him. Not long afterward, she was gone. The guilt stayed with him ever since. So this time, he refuses to let go, but he's completely exhausted. Little by little, the girl slips through his fingers and drops toward the spikes below. Right before she hits them, all of her memories come rushing back. She realizes she was already dead before any of this began. That day, she was listening to her idol's music in the bathroom, slipped on a bar of soap, hit her head, and never woke up. At the same time, the man finally remembers how he died. Then one morning, a woman claiming to be his biggest fan appeared and carried out a carefully planned revenge that ended his life. When he opened his eyes again, he was already trapped inside this strange game. But when the girl finally reaches the spikes, something doesn't make sense. The pain never comes. The deadly spikes are actually rubber balloons. She lands on them without a scratch. Only then do they finally understand what this game was really about. It was never about choosing who gets to survive. It was about forcing them to face the regrets they spent their lives running from. And now, they've finally made it through.